Let's have a look at how to precisely manipulate the visual properties for an object on our canvas. Every object that appears on your canvas has a set of visual properties that controls the look of the object. To access the visual properties, click on the object to select it and then click the gear icon here in the main toolbar. The Properties panel is arranged as a series of tabs based on what type of object is selected. The first tab is the Visual Properties tab, and this tab is available for all objects that can be seen on the canvas. The first slider here controls the scale of an object. Objects are uniformly scaled around the center point, which is this larger control point here in the middle of the object. Notice how using this tool is similar to using the control handles to scale the object like we saw in an earlier movie. For even more precise control, you can type in a scale value here, such as 45%, and then hit enter or return to accept that value. You can quickly flip an object upside down and backwards by typing in a negative number. Once you make a change, a reset button appears to the right of the parameter, allowing you to quickly undo any changes that you've made. I'll leave mine set to 50%. Next is the opacity slider. Use this slider to make an object partially see-through. Changing an object's opacity can make for some really nice effects when you're compositing multiple objects together. We'll use this property in a later movie when we create complex animations. I'll press the reset button for this object's opacity. The next set of visual properties allows you to control the rotation of the object. You can rotate an object around the Z-axis by clicking and dragging this dial. The Z rotation is the same control as the on-screen rotation control that we saw earlier. To get more precise control over the rotation, click on the control and drag your mouse straight out away from the control and then begin dragging around. By holding down your mouse button and dragging further away from the dial, it's much easier to control the rotation of the object. When you find the rotation that you like, release the mouse to set the rotation. If you prefer, you can type a value in here. Negative values rotate the image in a clockwise direction, while positive values rotate it in a counterclockwise direction. A complete turn is 360 degrees. There's no practical limit to the value that you can type in here for either a positive or a negative value. This feature will come in really handy when you want to animate an object spinning on screen. We'll look at how to animate these parameters in later movies. The rotation controls for the Y and X axis work the same, although these two parameters make your object appear to spin out into 3D space. Being able to rotate your objects around the X and Y axis allows you to create some really cool effects. Finally, you have your precise positioning controls for X, Y, and Z. The X and Y controls are the same as dragging the object around on the screen, although you can use the number fields to enter in a specific location coordinate. The location coordinates reference the object's center point. Clicking on the up arrow will nudge the object 1 pixel at a time. Clicking and holding on these arrows will increment the values and slowly move the object in a single direction. The Z-axis controls works exactly the same as the X and Y, except for there's no on-screen controls. If you want to clear all of the property changes that you've made for an object, click the Reset button that's at the top of the panel. If you have an object with visual properties, such as our Explore California logo, a slider may appear. Scrolling down will reveal the additional visual properties for the effects that have been added. We'll learn how to add and control these effects in later movies.